see if we can actually get some people coming into the.
So many kisses. You're such a sweet boy. Thank you. Thank you. Such a kissy boy.
What's going on, Stanley? So, Stanley, you got to tell me, man, can you hear me? We are trying to do the live YouTube thing. It's a whole new setup. Trying to make the break away from TikTok. I'm not live on TikTok yet, so you're the first. So, Stanley, can you hear me? Hope this works. I'm going to have to bail on it. Turn me on to Evan Williams. What's your favorite, man? Stanley, it's just you and me right now. That's it. It's you and me.
Are you live on TikTok?
Cool. No, we are. What's up, Ed? No, we are only live on YouTube right now. So we're gonna go YouTube live on TikTok in a minute. But trying to do the YouTube thing, trying to get away from the TikTok thing. So I fired up the YouTube first. So here we go. We're gonna talk a little whiskey. Hopefully this will go smoothly and we'll get a lot of people on YouTube and we can start to justify making the jump from TikTok to YouTube. Because what's up, Zach? What's going on? Yeah, I'm hoping. Oh yeah, Evan Williams Bottle and Bond. Stanley was saying we turned him on to the Evan Williams Bottle and Bond. That's a hard bottle to beat for the money. Have you ever had Redbreast Shadowlink? Yes, I love Redbreast. I like the 12-year. I always have it on my shelf. The PX is great. The 12-year Redbreast 12-year cast strength is one of the best values in whiskey that you can get in Irish whiskey because it's got so much punch, and you can actually get that bottle on sale, which is just ludicrous. I love Redbreast. I'm glad you asked that. We don't talk a lot of Irish whiskey or a lot of Scotch. I'd love to, but everybody wants to talk bourbon, which is fine. I like talking bourbon, but yes, I'm a big fan of Redbreast, man. Big fan. Shadowlink asked if we ever. Old Zach. Good old Zach. Zach, I was talking to Eli, man. Zach, Eli likes you, brother. You made a good impression over there. Eli did, and I actually have the sample of the. I have a little sample of the King of Kentucky. Ever tried Mr. Sam Tribute? Ed Morrison asked if I ever tried Mr. Sam Tribute. I have not. Probably I'm a big Irish guy. Yeah, Shadowlink, listen, man, I'm always good to talk Irish for sure. Get that single malt stuff out of here. What about American single malt? Yeah. You know, you guys, we talk a lot of bourbon because the online, I want to go live on TikTok real quick, y'all. Because the online community demands it. But I'd like to talk a lot more Scotch and Irish and all that other stuff too. But yeah, tap on the tube, baby. We're trying to test out making the transition. We're actually live on the TikTok and the YouTube tonight. Skip the Instagram. We got to figure out where we're gonna go with this thing because TikTok is not hacking it, man. Not hacking it for me. I'm not gonna have any bottles in front of me because of the TikTok tonight. We're gonna see if it makes a difference or not. It probably won't. Zach, which one are you talking about? Zach is saying that Eli's new barrel pick is a good one. You talking about that Spirits? What's the Spirits? What?
Camera.
Oh, my bad. Hold on, y'all. We always have technical difficulties. What's up, Scrock? Yeah, what's the name of that? What's up, Josh? Old Granddad 114 is another one of my favorites. Yes, Stanley. Old Granddad 114 is a solid bottle at a solid price. I keep hearing rumors that Old Granddad 114 is going to be discontinued. I don't think that that's true, but the rumor persists. Oh, Subtle Spirits. Yeah, Zach's talking about Subtle Spirits, which is a single barrel pick that the local Bourbon Wine and Spirits got recently. And it's supposed to be really, really good elite stuff that was picked out by the guy that started Subtle Spirits. I really thought it was good. It didn't blow my socks off. It was very malty rye. I really did like it. Yo, what's up, Jeff? Yes, people are surprised to see us on the YouTube. Can't believe what a sleeper benchmark is for the price and being from Buffalo Trace. 100%. I like the top floor. I like the bonded. So you guys, I'm going to try and read your questions, whether you're on TikTok or on YouTube. I'm trying to read the questions out in a way that you guys will understand what it is that I'm talking about. Try and make this thing a little more cohesive. I'm going to try and really hard not to be segmented, which is a big ask for me. Dominic says, have you tried Hard Truth Sweet Make Rye? I've not gotten into the Hard Truth stuff. I know it's really big on social media right now, but I've just not gotten into it because quite honestly, there's I have my shelf over here of the things that I have to review or get to review. I don't want to say have to. And there's a whole bunch of bottles over there, and I blew through them all, and it's full again. So yeah, no, I've not gotten to Hard Truth yet. Which barrel am I sipping? So Josh, good question. Now tonight, because of the TikTok, and TikTok has been blasting us and being a real dick. I'm not. His name is Richard. I'm not going to be putting what's up, Rick? I'm not going to be putting the bottles in front of the camera because I'll see if it's going to make a difference or not when they blast me on the TikTok for doing stuff. But I do have it sitting here behind me. It's Barrel's Batch 36. I will tell you guys, the new Barrel Batch 36, I like it a lot. I think potentially better than the last two.
RC says I was watching on YouTube but couldn't comment.
Oh, that's interesting. RC, I do not know what that's about. What's up, Knob? What's going on? Going to hang out with Kenny and Ryan from Pursuit tomorrow. Super excited. That's gonna be cool, Top. I love hanging out with the people that are the distillers, that are the producers, that are even the salespeople and marketing people. And I don't know about you guys, but everybody in whiskey has been awesome to me so far. Never had Barrel. Is it worth the price? I would say in general, yes. Barrel is one of the best, if not the best, blending house. They do amazing things. Their stuff is constantly being awarded well. I've liked nearly everything. Even the one that I didn't really love, the Amberana, was one of the best Amberanas that I've had. Not the best, one of the best. So yeah, they're a little expensive, but I think they're worth the price. This new batch 36 is awesome. I really enjoy this one. The Glenlivet, no other. Oh, do I have the Glenlivet? Oh no, the Glenmorangie. Glenlivet 18 is one of my favorite scotches to drink on the regular. It's kind of a little more expensive, but I still love it. I always have a bottle of it. I'm with you 100%. Whoa, where did those Redwood Empire tins come from? I love their products, but never seen them. Attila, those are old tater tubes from an old promotion that they did. We have a really good relationship with Redwood Empire if you don't watch my content. And they gave them to us as a gift and got us a few extra for some of the patrons. They're really, really dope. I love them a lot. There's nothing in them. They're just promotional tubes. I think they're the coolest freaking thing ever, and I don't think they're going to do them anymore.
Josh on YouTube asked, do you get any mineral taste in that Barrel 36?
Not prevalently. I always hesitate to say, no, I do not get that note. Oh, maybe a little bit. Right at the end there. It's not like a Dickel offering, but I do get maybe a little bit right at the end there. It's not overpowering for me, and it wasn't one of the tasting notes that I put in my original thoughts. Probably won't be in my video either, because it really didn't jump out that much. If no one has told you, I believe you have one of the best lives on bourbon. Keep doing them. Thank you, Fedor. We're going to keep doing the lives. We're just trying to decide if it makes sense to keep doing it on TikTok here or transition over to YouTube, which we're doing both right this minute, because TikTok just keeps restricting and restricting and restricting. Thank you, BSK, dude. You're the man. I always appreciate the kind words, y'all. Mr. Miyagi says, no work tomorrow. Off to Patriots training camp, and I'm sipping on Eagle Rare. You had me at Eagle Rare, man. Patriots, Eagle Rare. You should be go to Philadelphia? Oh, Tom's got us on YouTube and TikTok. That's one of the real ones right there. TikTok is a pain in the ass. Yes, it is a pain in the ass. Have you ever tried Weller CYPB? Kurt, Weller CYPB is the only Weller besides Millennium that I've not had. I've not tried CYPB. From guys that I trust, CYPB is probably the most overpriced because even though it's really good, it's the most marked up, withstanding Daniel Weller and the new Millennium, because it's so rare. And the only times I've seen it, the cheapest I've seen it recently is about $600. Crazy. What's a good drink to make out of Crown Royal salted caramel? Nothing. There's nothing. I'm just kidding. The Crown Royal. I like the Crown Royal flavored stuff, but it's kind of a novelty. I don't really ever drink it. We did a flavored whiskey thing with me and Mrs. Whiskey Bonnet. We're gonna do it again, I think. And it was fun to do because the flavors are just so big and they're so sweet. But I mean, I don't know, caramel. You could make an old fashioned out of it because you got your sweet and your whiskey in that all in one.
We're gonna see if the winner of last year still holds up this year.
Oh yeah, we will. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do a side by side. We let the Old Smoky Salty Caramel was the winner last year easily. I thought. Have you tried the Garrison Brothers Laguna Madre yet? Squirrel. I actually have a sample of Laguna Madre here. I did try last year's. I haven't tried this year's yet because they just released it. We're gonna be down at Garrison Brothers in August. Early August, so I'm assuming we'll probably get a chance to try it. Laguna Madre is fantastic, but the Ladybird this last year was better, I think. And even a couple of the guys from Garrison Brothers will go unnamed, but if you watch my video from the Whiskey Fest, you'll see who it is, said that they agreed with me that the Ladybird was better this year. Laguna Madre is the top of what they have to offer, but sometimes the Ladybird just crushes it. Holy Live YouTube, Batman, Devin. So you guys listen, I'm going back and forth between TikTok answering questions on TikTok, so please ask your questions. And we've also got YouTube running live with a chat over here, so I'm kind of looking to the side, so forgive me about that. Have I ever tried Old Charter French Oak? Yes, that is a really delicious bottle, but I do not understand why it goes so crazy other than the fact that it's limited for Buffalo Trace. But it is delicious. If you can get it anywhere close to MSRP, totally buy it. Fantastic. Really, really enjoyed that one. Garrett, what's going on, Garrett? What's happening? Driving home for an hour or so I'm all in. Are you driving and typing? It's fine.
Whiskey Barrel on YouTube asked, have you had Lux Row 4 grain?
We have had Lux Row 4 grain. I will tell you, this does not come up that often, but I really do like most everything from Lux Row. I really do. We don't talk about it all that much, but there's stuff all the way from the Blood Oaths all the way down. Even what's the damn? I always forget the name of the some of the entry level stuff, but it's always been good. And I like a 4. I like a 4 grain myself. Link in bio. WhiskeyBondedShop.com. I don't know if I can say that too much. TikTok's gonna blast me. Will you help me keep up with the questions on YouTube? That'd be awesome. Squirrels saying please don't leave YouTube. Stay on YouTube. You guys, we're gonna transition to doing the lives on YouTube. I think for a couple of reasons. One, YouTube is much easier to repost the live content after we do it. It just automatically goes to the page, which is awesome, and there's not as much restriction, and everybody can access it. We actually have patrons that don't have TikTok. I make old fashioned with more mid to top shelf bourbons versus the lower shelf bourbon. What are your thoughts? I can feel you on that. Rick Wothoke. Rick Woe, the KO. That makes more sense. No, listen, old fashions. So we make old fashions here with around 100 proof rye, 2 ounce bourbon. What do you about a 1/4 ounce simple syrup or less? Small amounts of simple syrup, a little bit of bitters, good quality bitters. We like orange bitters, but if you use something better quality or more expensive, you just get a different old fashioned, and sometimes it's a better old fashioned. Mrs. Whiskey Bomb has figured out how to master the old fashioned with a bullet rye. Just mastered it, just crushes it. But yeah, we have made it with more expensive stuff and nicer stuff or higher proof stuff, and it does give you something different. What's going on, Brad?
Mr. Miyagi on YouTube said, I got caught up in the hype of Blackberry Crown Royal and had it neat. Nasty. I'll have to try it with lemonade and frozen blackberries.
Yes, everybody says Crown Royal, blackberry, and lemonade is the way to go. We did try it neat just to try it. Man, it is so sweet, and the sweetness is very artificial. It's not really meant to be drank neat, I don't think. Yeah, Zach is mirroring a lot of people are saying this. TikTok lives just don't work for me. I'll try it with Dew. Appreciate the tip. I guess,
it's good with Mountain Dew.
Oh, that makes sense to me. Crown Royal, blackberry, and Mountain Dew. Not a fan of rye old fashions. I like a simple Woodford or Russell's. Ron, you're not alone on that. We do like to make old fashions with the old Granddad 114. Those are good. If you make it with a bourbon, you just get a different experience. We like the rye because if you balance the rye out with the right amount of sweet, you get a balance of the sweet and the rye spice, and that's what I think really makes for when you get a good cocktail with multiple things. It's just like a whiskey. I've described this way a few times. I think I'm gonna start using this more regularly. When I taste a whiskey, the tasting notes are like peaks and valleys, right? So I get a little bit of caramel, a little bit of vanilla on the other side, a little bit of rye spice, right? What you're looking for is all of those things to kind of even out into a nice even wave. What you don't want is caramel, vanilla, rye spice, wood notes, like these dramatic swings, and then stuff starts to stand out. If it all kind of goes and you get all these flavors and they're all kind of similar caliber, then you get this beautiful balance. And cocktails are the same way. You want to have the sweet and the bitters and the whiskey all to kind of level out and cooperate together. Oh, someone did say something. So Saz is only good for an old fashioned. Saz is good for an old fashioned. Any rye around that 100 proof. Saz I think is 90, but yeah. Jenny have Baby Jane. Oh, Jenny gave Baby Jane 2 thumbs up. Glad she picked one up. You know what's funny? I did a review of Baby Jane just recently. Actually, I don't think did I post it? Did I post the Baby Jane review? I think the Baby Jane review is going out tomorrow because I did not attend today. So I reviewed the Baby Jane. I said something on the Patreon, on the Discord after call about the Baby Jane. We were talking about it a little bit. Here's the problem with the Baby Jane. You cannot drink something like this barrel that's got a little more proof to it and then go to the Baby Jane. It makes the Baby Jane seem way too subtle and way too soft, way too easy. But Baby Jane is actually a really nice, solid, classic bourbon, kind of done with a little bit of that Widow Jane flair. It's actually quite tasty. But if you're a high proof drinker, it's really, 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 really chill. But my problem with the Baby Jane thing was that is a very tough, competitive echelon to play in with that around $50 entry level bottle. There's a lot of really good bottles in that price point. One being Barrel's Foundation, which is better. Sorry, Widow Jane.
Yeah, side note, I think the YouTube is just a little more delayed than TikTok. Just so you know.
Well, Tom will be able to tell us if he's watching both. I'm sure there's a delay on
commented.
Oh. Yeah, Zach's made a comment about the proof. Yeah. Zach made a good proof about you have to go up in proof when you're drinking. You can't start at the top. Right. If you're going to try different things and taste, I always taste a low proof first and work my way up. And tend to go low rye to high rye too. Found a Maker's Heart release today. Have you tried it? B-Rat over on TikTok. I have. I love it. It's fantastic. I actually did a review on that one in long form on YouTube. It's on the other platforms too, but I did it in like 5.5 minutes. Because it stands to, it deserves to be compared against the BP and the other things too. I really, really like the Heart release. I think it's absolutely worth buying. It seems like it's going to be readily available. I've seen it around in a few places now, and I was just in Bourbon Wine and Spirits if you're in Roseville. He had a few bottles. The price point should be around that $70 to $80 price range, and you really shouldn't pay up on that. I don't think you're going to have to, as long as you're in an area where you normally get the wood finishing series. Really, really good though.
Captain Jack on TikTok asks, is blackened whiskey good or a gimmick?
A little bit of both. I think blackened is one of the better celebrity whiskeys. Just because it's celebrity whiskey doesn't mean it's bad. So, not all bad whiskeys are celebrity whiskeys, and not all celebrity whiskeys are bad whiskeys, but there's a lot of crossover. Does that make sense? Tay Thompson is asking, is the Smoke Eye Hill really what it's sparked to be? I'm looking for a bottle. You know what, you guys? I'm not one to drive hype. You guys know that. But that Smoke Eye Hill barrel proof is a really fantastic bottle. And it's getting the hype for a reason. I will tell you, if it makes you feel any better chasing that bottle, the people at Smoke Eye Hill are really, really cool. I emailed to ask a question, and the CEO got back to me right away. So, I mean, I wouldn't feel bad buying a bottle for them. That being said, the $80 to $90, don't pay markup on it. I've seen it pretty much at SRP most of the places. You can get it online. Just be looking. They're still making it. It's not like they only made it one time. So.
Yeah, Tom said that there's a slight delay in timing and the audio on YouTube is not synced.
The audio on
So
YouTube
it's like
is not
watching
synced.
a kung fu movie.
Oh no. But it's not on my end. All right, well, I'm sorry about that, y'all. This is an experiment in me just doing whatever I feel like I like to do. But we're trying to make the transition over to YouTube. That's why I'm doing the YouTube live in conjunction with the TikTok today, because we're just trying to kind of see what's going to work. I think streaming. What's going on, Squirrel? Donation for 2 tour tickets at the Garrison Brothers Distillery for you and your wife, unless you show up on a horse and the tour. Does anybody have a horse that we can borrow near Garrison Brothers? That would be, bucket list. Would you write that down? Go to Garrison Brothers on a horse. The Old Forester Barrel Strength Single Barrel is by far my favorite in an old fashioned. That is a really good bottle to be using for an old fashioned. Old Forester Single Barrel Strength Rye or bourbons are always winners. I've never had a bad one, and we've got a few. Absolute buy. Yikes. I love early times. Thank you, Squirrel, so much. That was really awesome. I appreciate that. Have you tried the Heaven Hill Grain to Glass? Saw the bourbon at Total Wine for $115-ish. We did try the rye. I've heard that's the best of them, but I didn't try the wheat, and I haven't talked to anybody that tried the wheat specifically. But I heard that the rye was the best of them from somebody that kind of trusts his palate. He knows a bit. We tried the rye. It was good. It was really good. My problem with those grain to glasses, and I think they're good. I think it's an interesting purchase, but when you got the Heaven Hill bourbon sitting there next to the Heaven Hill 7-year bottled in bond, and it's 3 times as much just because it's grain to glass, and it's got a cool bottle, but if you like to buy the new thing and you like to try the limited releases, it's probably worth buying. I think $115 is not a crazy price for a limited release. I just worry that they're going to be more available, and then it's going to seem silly to have paid $115, if that makes sense. BSK says, dying to try the Heaven Hill grain to glass. Are there any European bourbons you like? You know what, robots? I am not aware of any European. Oh wait, you can't have European bourbons because it has to be made in America. If you mean European whiskeys, yes, lots of them. Josh, well, thanks, Mr. Miyagi, for coming by. Sorry, I appreciate it, man.
Josh on YouTube asked, which Garrison Brothers did you say was better than the Laguna Madre?
So for me, I tried last year's Laguna Madre and this year's Ladybird. The Ladybird was better than the Laguna Madre. Ladybird is a purple bottle. I don't know if you can see it behind me or not. I'm not going to pull any bottles down because we're trying not to piss off TikTok. The purple dipped bottle is Ladybird. I absolutely love that bottle. It's my favorite Garrison bottle I've tried so far. And I also heard that Donis Todd, and I'm going to pin him down in August when we go down there, that the new Cowboy Bourbon this year is supposed to be a crusher. You heard it here first?
Squirrel says, I like the Guadalupe Garrison Brothers better.
I like the Guadalupe too. I like the Guadalupe. I like the Balmorea. With Garrison Brothers, the small batch is okay. It's the basis for everything that they make. I actually kind of like the honeydew, but I get why people wouldn't like it because the honey infusing is like, okay, well, why would we do that? But I like it because it's interesting. Above that, everything is really, really good. The Cowboy Bourbon, the Guadalupe, the Balmorea, the Ladybird, the Laguna Madre, they are expensive, but they're all really delicious. I dig what they do with that. They leave the Texas funk tasting notes, but then they add stuff to it. It's weeded bourbon. I just really like it a lot. Yes, you better show up for the Cowboy release. So I don't think we're going to be there during the Cowboy release, Squirrel. We're going down in August just for a couple days to go down and just make some contacts, meet some people, get to hang with Donis Todd for a little bit. That's going to be dope. Just go down, and they've been really cool people. We've had a really good relationship with them over the last year or so. So we're just going to go down and hang out with them just for literally for a day. Right? We're literally going to fly to Texas for a couple of days, yeah. Oh, Mr. Mom, cheers from Oklahoma. Oh, see, Devin said he doesn't really like Garrison Brothers, but he enjoyed the Laguna Madre and Off the Rails. I don't remember the Laguna Madre being at Off the Rails. Do you try things you're sent? I have an odd single barrel from a place a block from the beach. So, Zachary, I've officially changed my approach to that. I do not take samples, unopened sample bottles anymore. I'll tell you why. I appreciate the crap out of you guys. Please, by all means, that is not meant to be anything other than said with the utmost respect. The problem with the small single bottles is these little sample bottles. One, I don't know you, but that's not the majority of it. The majority of it is they stack up so quickly, and I get so many little sample bottles that I literally have a terrible time getting to them, and I just feel terrible when people send me samples, and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks go by, and I just can't get to them because we have so many other things. I mean, we're in the middle of trying to do our very first single barrel pick right now, and it's been sitting here. I gotta get to that, So, by the way, our very first single barrel pick. We got to talk about that really quick. So we are doing a single barrel pick. Hopefully, once we get into them, they got to be up to par with Rye 3 and the patrons. So the patrons, if there aren't patrons on here, you only have about another I think that's up. Is it up? 7 o'clock? 6 o'clock. Anyway, you had 48 hours to respond, and thank you, Burbo. And sign up, and some of the patrons...
6 o'clock.
Some of the patrons are going to get to pick the single barrel with us, which is dope for me. I'm excited about that. So we got to do that. I can't wait for that. So hopefully there will be a whiskey bonded Rye 3 toasted barrel rye single barrel here at some point. Caleb.
XO Chicago asked, what do you think of Little Book Chapter 8?
I don't... Where's that sample at? Whee. So... we did try it. We tried it at Lock. It's delicious. Sorry, I'm getting it mixed up with the. Is it in the closet there? Never mind. It's good. Well, I was gonna try it on the spot. When is the Redwood pick dropping? For Faye, so the Redwood Empire single barrel picks, they're actually waiting to release those. They're going to be released in the fall because they have the new bottle and bonds, the new small lot, the new Pipe Dream 101. Those are all dropping, right? So they're delaying a little bit after that. So it's going to be probably into the late fall, early winter. Follow my stuff, obviously. YouTube is not going to be great for that kind of announcement, but Instagram will be. I'll be doing all of those notifications on Instagram and on Patreon too. So you guys will find out about that. What's up, Logan Trading Company? What's up, buddy? Blurple in effect.
Squirrel says, down the road from Garrison Brothers is 1693 Elevation Distillery in Frederickson, Texas. Makes a good small batch you need to try while you're in town.
I'm going to write that down. May get a chance to do that. We're actually going back.
Let me write it down.
We're feeling spicy today. I thought you had a piece of paper.
I don't have anything over here.
Do you mind? Will you write it down? Yeah. Sorry, live behind the scenes moment. Curtis, thank you, man. Curtis, I appreciate that. Are you able to try a sample of the Van Duzen at the distillery? Yes, we did try the Van Duzen. It's quite delicious, especially if you like malted stuff. But yeah, you listen. The Redwood Empire is not going to put out anything bad. Not for the foreseeable future. I've tried quite a bit of stuff of theirs, including we tried five different barrels of their in-house distillate that they're aging up for the single barrel picks. So I get to try our single barrel pick and assumedly a bunch of other people's single barrel picks. It all absolutely worth buying, 100%. I am actually sipping on the barrel batch 36 right now. I don't have the bottles in front of me today because we're trying to we're trying to play the TikTok game. Good evening, all you wonderful whiskey people. Michael over on YouTube. Catching the first live, not to be too locally focused. We live near each other. Oh, nice. Local. Have you had a chance to try Cook and Savage's second bottle of Bond? So Cook and Savage is that distillery over in Vallejo. I have not had that. I have not tried it yet. What's up, Carlos? What's going on, Carlos, over on TikTok? Somebody's losing their subscription benefits soon.
Curtis on YouTube says, love your channel. Keep it up.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Devin is saying you should try through some of your samples on lives. That's actually a good idea. I think if we're going to do especially if we're going to do the YouTube lives, I think trying through some samples would be a good idea. I know that with YouTube we can put up different types of readers and things that can tell you what's going on, but we'll get around to all of that stuff. We're still trying to feel this out, you guys.
Faye asked if you were able to try a sample of the Van Duzen while at the distillery. Yeah,
I already hit that one. Yes, we did. We did that one. In fact, one of the single barrels that we tasted, it may or may not be our single barrel because we haven't disclosed it yet, may be a cask strength Van Duzen, maybe a cask strength Devil's Tower. I've been trying to get my hands on any of the small batch lots from Redwood Empire, but I can't seem to find anyone selling them for a decent price, and I'm local to NorCal. Okay, Faye. We need to have a little come to Jesus. Everybody else just listen up while we talk to Faye. Faye, you're in Northern California. The Redwood Empires are readily available at Rayleigh's and local liquor stores, and they don't tend to be marked up. Faye, if you message me, my email address is in my contact bio. It's pretty easy to figure out. It's whiskeymonth@gmail.com. I will tell you exactly where to find it. They are going to release the small lots again in the fall. They're going to do a second release of, assumedly, the other 3 small lots when they do the Van Dusen. I still haven't got all the details on that, but they're definitely re-releasing. Half Vulcan, I'm afraid to open my last bottle of Screaming Titan Batch 1. Here's the thing, don't be afraid, they're going to release a Batch 2 in the fall. Good timing on that one, by the way. What's going on with Whiskey University? Whiskey Bonded University. We actually have some more of those. My wonderful wife, Miss Whiskey Bond, has been writing up some stuff for that. We just have gotten really caught up in trying to catch up with a lot of the reviews. Honestly, that's really what's been going on. I love the Whiskey Bonded Universities and the whiskey histories, and we want to do more of those, but they take a little bit more time to write, and there's a lot of stuff I got to review. I'm going to have to say no to free bottles for a little while for reviewing, just to get caught up. Andalusia. Stephen Richards says, Andalusia Whiskey Company in Blanco, Texas. I am not familiar. I have heard of that, but I am not familiar with them at all, Stephen. I honestly do not have the kind of exposure to Texas whiskey that I wish I had. I really like getting into Texas whiskey, but I need to do more. Mostly been just Still Austin, which we're going down there in October. Garrison Brothers. Tried some Balcones, didn't love it.
Zachary just asked, have you ever found stuff you just don't vibe with, and what do you do with it?
Yes, I do.
Give it away.
I do find stuff I don't vibe with. I do give some of it away. Some of it, unfortunately, sits around here. I'm actually working on trying to come up with some way, likely through the Patreon, to try and off some of the random bottles, because I'm not going to give away something to somebody that's bad, but there are some that I just don't, I just don't love them. I just don't love them, and somebody else might. Not everybody agrees with me all the time, but who's going to say no to a free bottle of whiskey? I don't.
What do you think of Brothers Bond?
I've actually liked, especially for a celebrity whiskey, I've actually liked the Brothers Bond. The 4-grain rye was actually pretty interesting. The Brothers Bond cask strength bourbon. So the cask strengths are where it's at. The standard offering is, it's hard to stand out in that inexpensive bourbon. It's just really hard to stand out. There's some killers in there. How do I feel about Glenfarclas? I like Glenfarclas. I like Scotch a lot, but we'll lose half the audience if we start doing Scotch talk. There you go. I always got to get to the Redwood Empire questions. Half Vulcan says, the real question is, Batch 4 of Grizzly Bees going to be better than Batch 3? I'm going to have to taste them side by side, because Batch 3 is a 5-grain and Batch 4 is a 4-grain. But I can tell you the new Rocket Top batch is better than the last one. Maybe better than all of the last ones. It might be the best Rocket Top that they've had. It sure felt like it to me when we tried it. Have you had the Balcones lineage and your opinion on it? Mr. Mom, I appreciate the question. I've only had a small amount of Balcones, only because when we first got into Balcones, I tried their base lineup, was not super thrilled with anything other than the single malt was okay. There is a bottle of the cask strength single malt finished in California port that I think Whiskey Bonded Jr. just carried off yesterday. That was actually really interesting, really good. I just gave it to him, and please watch the. Oh, you're not. So I got funny. I got Mr. Mom over in YouTube, and everybody answering the questions over in TikTok. I've not really been in love with Balcones. I don't know why. I don't know. It doesn't speak to me quite the same way that Still Austin does for the lower price point, and Garrison Brothers does for a higher price point. So Elijah asks, what would be 3 bottles you recommended to a beginner starting a collection? That is a great question. I think when you're a beginner, I think what you need to do is you need to look for a variety of lower priced, decent quality offerings. So I'm going to assume that you mean not just bourbons, but if you're going to do bourbons, if you're in an area where you can get Buffalo Trace, you got to get a Buffalo Trace. You just have to, because it's unique, it's popular, and to give you an idea what a lot of their stuff goes to. Elijah Craig Small Batch, great bottle for no money. If you're going to get into Irish, Jameson Black Barrel for the really cheap stuff, and Redbreast 12-year, right? Scotches, you just like a Glenmorangie 10, something not too offensive. But back to bourbon, I mean, I would get a rye of some kind that's not a super offensive rye, like a Jack Daniel's Bonded rye or a Bardstown Origin Release rye, something that's not too. And then Skrock is bringing up the answer that I didn't answer that I usually always answer, which is anything white label Redwood Empire. I mean, it really is a great answer. I mean, I wish Spoopy's obviously not here, or he would be talking about the bingo card. But the Redwood Empire white labels, you guys, a bourbon, a burr rye, and a 95% rye, all for $35, all good, all complex, all non-offensive, all tasty. They're easy no-brainers for newbies. Yeah, I love Black Barrel. Black Barrel, I always have a bottle of Black Barrel, and I drink it on the regular. I was just drinking it a couple days ago. What's a good whiskey from Alex over on YouTube? What's a good whiskey from Texas? Anything from Still Austin. And if you want to spend a couple of more bucks, get some of the higher offerings of Garrison Brothers. I think if you're just trying to start in Texas whiskey, Still Austin's a great place to start. We have 10. I think we have 10 different bottles from Still Austin. All good. You can't really go wrong, and none of them are that expensive. I don't think anything's over $100. I think they were all under $100, and some of them are under $70. For some pretty good bottles. So thanks for the question, Alex. What are you drinking, bub?
Spindrift.
Spindrift. Non-alcoholic Spindrift. I'd be down for a sponsorship from Spindrift.
It's their new flavor. It's the lemonade flavor.
It is actually quite delicious. I'll give you that.
I like them.
Unbent. Yeah, Tom mentioned we good. You guys, Bent Distilling out of Texas. I love Bent Distilling out of Texas. Tom, it's funny you bring that up. I've brought that up to a couple people. I actually brought up Bent Distilling to the people at Sealbox, and he looked at me like he had no idea what I was talking about.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So we may try and do something with Bent Distilling, just trying to get the word out there a little bit. Really good bottles for reasonable prices. For real. Do you prefer all your whiskey neat, or do you have some you prefer on the rocks? Yes, Vulcan. I drink mostly neat, but there are whiskeys I definitely prefer on the rocks. I will always drink... I like weeded stuff on the rocks, so usually I drink Makers on the rocks. Jameson, always rocks. Always rocks. I like it better on rocks. And the cocktails, I do like to drink cocktails, old fashions, obviously, but most of the time we're drinking them neat. Most of the time.
Steven on YouTube asked, have you been to Frey Ranch in Nevada? We should have been. It's like 3 hours from us.
Yes, so we actually got invited up to Frey Ranch to do a single barrel pick with a local liquor store. I wanted to go but could not because of real life. But no, we're going to go up to Frey Ranch. We will make a chance to get up there. I've been meaning to reach out to them, and I just haven't had a chance. I mean, you guys, we're so busy with stuff. It's there's a lot of things we're going to do, and I just have to backburner them. Somebody just asked, you're stuck on an island with one bottle. What is it? Man, I hate that question, but I always feel compelled to answer it. What would your one bottle be? Do you have cocktail mixers? If yes, it's going to be your Bullet Rye.
Giant bottle of Bullet.
Giant bottle. One bottle. I think he means one bottle like forever, like a case of one bottles. Right now, it'd probably be something weeded. I'd probably go Screaming Titan right this minute. Because for me anyway, the one bottle question, I wouldn't take anything that's super high proof or super unique. Because I want to be able to be drunk all the time because I'm stuck on an island by myself. So it's got to be delicious, a little complex, easy to drink. Drink it warm, drink it cold. I mean, you didn't say if I had ice on this island or not.
Yes, Tom, I second that.
What's that?
Tom suggested a patron field trip to Frey Ranch.
So I was talking to Rick today. And one of the things I really want to do is for the patrons. We did
mention who Rick is. Since
Rick's a patron.
Maybe don't.
If you don't know who Rick is, then if you don't know now, you know. He's a patron, a great patron. But some of the patrons came out for the whiskey festival here in Sacramento. We had a great time. We did a bottle share. We did a private event at a whiskey lounge. Awesome. I would like to do something at a distillery. So maybe it's Frey Ranch. Maybe we try to do some in Kentucky. Maybe we try to do something in Texas. We'll see how our trips to Texas go. And we've got a couple of Kentucky distilleries that are making offers for things. We'll see. We'll see. Everyone knows who Rick is. Rick's House of Bourbon. Can you show Mrs. Whiskey Bonnet on camera? I want to put a face to the voice. No, she's saying no right now. If you watch some of my videos, you can see Mrs. Whiskey Bonnet on camera. She is on camera.
And you can find me on Instagram if you want.
Yes, she is on Instagram. I think Bardstown would be absolutely do something. Yeah, so Garrett is bringing up a good point. It would be cool to do something at Bardstown. We could probably arrange that because we have good contacts at Bardstown. I would like to do that. That's a Frey Ranch would be cool. Really, there's a lot of places I'd like to go. But Bardstown would be a major contender if we went to Kentucky. It's an awesome place. Oh, what do you consider? It's not like this one. Knob. What do you consider a unicorn bottle, and what is your unicorn bottle? So, I think a unicorn bottle would be something that is almost unobtainable, but not completely unobtainable. So, like for most people, that's going to be one of your BTECs, CYPB, something like that. Well, for the longest time, mine was E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof because it was just impossible around here to get it. But then I got it. So I don't know. For me, I really would love, and this is going to sound ridiculous because I'm never going to buy one, but I would like to have a double Eagle, very rare, Eagle Rare. But the price point on it is just ridiculous. It's like $3,000. I'm not going to do that. But unicorns, I don't think BSK unicorns are overrated. Unicorns, I've kind of come to believe that unicorns are not really so much about drinking. Unicorns are something that you get because you admire it and maybe you don't drink it. I think a true unicorn is a bottle that you probably don't open.
Just hold on to it?
Yeah. Otherwise, they're just bottles you really want, right? I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, how do you define a unicorn bottle? Because I would, if I get a unicorn, if I actually capture a real unicorn, I'm not going to kill it and eat it for dinner. I'm going to hang on to it and feed it and put it in my backyard. And
yes, Devin's down for a field trip too.
Devin is always down. Warlord Diablo says, you got an infinity bottle? I do have an infinity bottle. It is in a Old Stag Junior bottle, and it is a low rye, high proof bourbons. And it actually tastes a lot like a Stag. If I poured it for you, you'd probably think it was a Stag Junior. Not on purpose. I just kind of like that style. Half Vulcan, a 250,000 bottle is a unicorn bottle. That would be a unicorn bottle, but you wouldn't drink it, right? Garrett, I promise I'll go to this one. Well, Garrett, that's part of the reason why we're thinking about maybe trying to have it your neck of the woods. So we have people from that side of the country come out. Is Russell's Reserve 15 a unicorn? It's not for 600 here in New Jersey. I don't think so, Brian, and only because I don't think a unicorn is defined by price. I think it's defined by how difficult it is to get. And right now you can go buy a Russell's 15. They're overpriced. They're way into the secondary. They're being marked up, and I hate everybody that's doing it right now. But I think the Russell's 15, and I've heard this. You guys, this is a pseudo prediction, kind of. I've heard Russell's 15 is actually being produced in higher volume than Russell's 13. So you may want to chill out on the Russell's 15. You may be able to get your hands on one. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, Rick, I got offered a Weller Millennium today. I had to pass the 7500. I was also offered a Weller Millennium and a Double Eagle Very Rare, and I ain't going near either one of those. That's ridiculous. 7,500 is a good price. That's dang near cost. That's stupid. It's just stupid. I'm not doing that. I think cost is 7,200. One of my liquor store buddies showed me the costs on them. Where are we at? Weller Millennium. Yes, there are people saying Weller Millennium. Weller Millennium is beautiful. The bottle, the packaging, it's all fantastic. Weller Millennium. I wanted to say that he said that the cost of that was like 67 or 73, and then Eagle Rare is only like 27 or 28 for the Double Eagle Very Rare.
Did you already answer the Bourbon Club's question?
Which one?
Any online whiskey and bourbon clubs that are worth the money?
Warlord Diablo, for me, no. But a lot of people do them and say that they're absolutely worth them. Worth it. The some of the clubs like Kitsap Whiskey Society, some of the smaller clubs that are like local and they go in together to buy things. If you have some say in it, I think it might be worth doing. The problem with the whiskey clubs or the bourbon clubs is you're not going to like everything that they do. That's part of the reason why I'm not member of any of those, because usually you have to pay into them and then they just kind of do what they want to do. So if you don't have a say, I'm like, you're going to like some of them. There's a local one here locally, a local store here locally that has a whiskey club. And they were going like, well, we got a Weller Antique 107. And it was like $50 a month, something like that. I'm like, well, that's worth it. Well, yeah, then the next pick was something I was like, well, I don't want that. So it's like, you want to be in, you want to be out. Now, if you can find, like I said, if you can find a smaller group that will allow you to help with the picks and you have some say and you can buy or not buy, yeah, then they're worth it. Oh, here you go. General's asking about that. The Crown Royal Blackberry is coming up a lot. Have you had a chance to try the new Crown Royal Blackberry? It's sold out in 2 days where I'm at. It is around here still.
We have tried it.
Super overly sweet. Yeah. It's delicious if you like flavored whiskeys, but it's very sweet. Very sweet.
I could see it being a good mixer into a cocktail.
Yes. Sure. You could definitely use it for a sweet mixer, 100%. Someone said, oh, this is an interesting, Caleb says, join the WB Patreon. It's cheaper than a club and has cool opportunities for whiskey tastings. And potentially to cooperate in a single barrel pick here. 5 of them anyway. The squirrel said, my unicorn bottle was a hand-picked by Donis Todd single barrel Garrison Brothers that my wife got to hand bottle and dip at the distillery. That's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. That's the same reason why this Garrison Brothers Cowboy Bourbon, you can't see it on TikTok, but on the corner here, for people on YouTube, that still sits there, and I'm probably never going to open that because it was a gift from Garrison Brothers that really meant a lot to me because they gave it to me as a thank you, not as a, hey, review this. It was pretty cool. So I hung on to that for similar reasons. Sentimental bottle.
Bretsky said, I just got the Chris Stapleton Buffalo Trace collab called The Traveler. Cool bottle.
The Traveler is a cool bottle. I will give you that. If the Traveler is in the same bottle as... I'm blanking. Man, it stinks that I have to be able to have the bottles in front of me because of TikTok. It's hard to remember this crap, especially as you drink more. I just one more bourbon. Devin just said, if I could get a bottle of OFC or Double Eagle Rare at MSRP, I'm going to buy it. Devin, you need to message me because I can make that happen for you, brother. That's a lot of money to spend, but if you're feeling froggy, I'll help you jump.
What's your favorite Scottish whiskey?
Man. So my favorite sentimentally, I drink a lot of the Glenlivet 18, but not the best. There's some really good ones up here behind me. I like Macallan. I really love Macallan 18. I know that's a canned answer, but I love Macallan 18. This Glenmorangie Signet and the Octomore next to it, both super interesting bottles that are really, really delicious. But I actually like the Glenlivet 18 because the cost point and the experience, it's a great balance. It's just over $100 now. It used to be right at $100. Now it's probably $120 or something like that. Really good 18-year-old Scotch. But there's a lot of good. I had a Dalmore 21 one time that was just magic. Remember that? Mm-hmm. That was so good.
That was the one with the big box.
Yeah, the big fancy freaking box.
What release are you most looking forward to this fall?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, listen, come fall time is when you're going to get all the Buffalo Trace allocated releases. I wouldn't mind getting a WLW, but I don't know what the odds of that are. I mean, it'd be nice to be able to do that, but...
well, you're probably looking forward to the releases from...
Redwood?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the answer to that would be is our Redwood Empire single barrel. I'm really excited about that. I can't wait. And we have potentially have the Rye 3. That single barrel is probably coming. The Whiskey Bonnet, the first Whiskey Bonnet pick, Rye 3 single barrel. That's going to be dope. And I'm working on maybe another one that I would be really excited about that I'm not ready to announce yet because I just started talking about it with the patrons.
Knob asked what you're sipping on right now.
Barrel Batch 36. If you like barrel stuff, it's a total win. Let me just shortcut it. I didn't review it yet. I will be reviewing it. I did do a post on it on Instagram, a static post. I don't have it in the foreground because TikTok sucks, but a Barrel Batch 36 with the new labeling, that's a really good one. And for me, at this point, I'm going to say it's better than the 35 or the 34. I did see a Barrel Batch 29. Mrs. Whiskey Bonnet and I were at a little tiny liquor store up in the hills. Barrel Batch 29. It's been sitting on that shelf for 7 years. Somebody did ask, sorry, I missed a question there.
Brett asked what your favorite secondary site that delivers.
I don't buy secondary. I do get stuff from Sealbox from internetwines.com. There's a couple ones I do buy online for. Someone just asked me a question today, what percentage of stuff I buy online. Very little, less than 10%. But those are trustworthy ones. I'll buy from those ones. But I don't buy from secondary or from unicorn auctions or that stuff.
Mostly you just work your relationships in town, right?
Yeah, so somebody actually, it was a very interesting question. My favorite whiskey-based cocktail is an old-fashioned. Quick answer. Somebody asked me a very interesting question today. They actually messaged me and said, where do you get the majority of your bottles? Where do you buy your bottles at? Well, originally, when I first started doing this, it was about 40% relationships, about 40% hunting, 10% online, and 10% they were sending us stuff. Now, because we've gotten big enough now and they send us so much stuff, it's probably 40 or 50% stuff that gets sent to us. I'd say 40% or ish of relationships, and then that last little 10-15% is either hunting or online. I don't even do that much whiskey hunting anymore just because it's great. I miss whiskey hunting. I really like whiskey hunting. It's fun. I very rarely do it, but we just had to change up the way that we do things because of either getting bottles randomly that I have to try so you're not going after as much stuff, or getting calls just putting feelers out. I had to work with Kartik today. Oh, nice. Kartik is awesome. He's such a cool cat. It was him that actually got us interested in doing a Rye 3 pick. We're actually looking at doing a Rye 3. This is the only bottle I'm going to flash. We're actually looking at doing a Rye 3 toasted barrel, cask strength, whiskey bonded single barrel pick. Got to be a patron to find out about that, though. Hopefully. If the patrons don't buy them up, maybe there'll be a little bit left. Which state are you based out of? Location makes such a huge difference in what you can get. Absolutely it does. It is important to know that I'm here in California. Our whiskey distribution is really, really good here by all measures for the rest of the country. I know Texas is pretty good too, but I think we probably have the best prices and best overall distribution of the country. Really, we get a lot of stuff at reasonable prices. Bourbon Syndicate, first time on your live. Seen a lot of your shorts. Cheers. Oh, thanks for coming by, man. We haven't really done much in the way of YouTube live, so you haven't missed anything. We're just starting to get into it because the dang the TikTok is making it harder for us.
Why won't TikTok let you have the bottles in front of you? Squirrel asked on YouTube.
So they will, but as soon as I kick a bottle up here, it's going to ask me what I'm promoting, and then it blocks me because of adult content, and then it stops promoting the live. TikTok doesn't like alcohol content for one, and two doesn't want you to be selling stuff without the proper disclosures. I'm not selling anything. I mean, you can get the t-shirts on whiskeyboundshop.com, but that's not what we're doing here. That's not what we're doing here. Yes, it's stupid. TikTok is evolving in a way that's really hard for me to figure out. So we're kind of peeling away from it a little bit. I'm not going to stop doing TikTok, but TikTok's going to start being a secondary thing, whereas it used to be our primary thing. It just isn't anymore. Jerry said, first time but love whiskey, bourbon, and scotch. Jerry, please subscribe, stick around, follow, watch my review videos. That's what we started this whole thing for. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to message me. Oh, somebody said Florida is phenomenal. Huge market for Rye 3. I have heard that. Rye 3 is pretty big out here. Kartik is out there all the time hustling all over the country. Kartik is the CEO for Phenomenal Spirits, but they do Rye 3. Really great guy, very energetic, out there hustling it. It's awesome.
So Richard on TikTok says, I live in Massachusetts, headed to Vegas for work. What would you recommend I pick up there because I can't get here?
Here's what you need to do. If you're going to go to Vegas, you just need to do some whiskey hunting. And I would recommend, and Tom will probably be able to back this up. Tom's on TikTok right now, but you need to get away from the strip. But there's actually really good distribution in Nevada. They actually get a lot of stuff. Prices are really reasonable a lot of the time. But if you go downtown, down to the strip, or one of the touristy areas, you're going to get crushed. But you just go shopping. Hit the Total Wine on the south end of the strip. Total Wine will be good. You'll get anything from Smoke Wagon. Frey Ranch stuff will be there. Thank you, Waylon.
The Frey Ranch Farm Strength, is that the one?
Frey Ranch
If you
Uncut
can find
Farm
that
Strength.
and you don't have it in Massachusetts, get it.
That's a good really bottle. Good. Anything from Frey Ranch, any of the cast strength from Frey Ranch. Waylon Spencer, thank you, Waylon. Have you had any Detling yet? I am familiar with Detling. We have not gotten to Detling yet. That's one of those ones that there's a list of them that have popped up on my radar. I just have not gotten around to because things keep popping up that demand attention immediately, new releases and stuff. Here, Tom is saying Vegas liquor lineup in North Vegas. So Tom is from Vegas. It's one of our patrons. So if he said liquor lineup in North Vegas, that's where you got to go. Life Like Trevor said, you got me obsessed with Redwood Empires. I got all the new releases that are distributed. Trevor, sorry, and you're welcome. Oh, Tom's also saying Curry's in Henderson. I've heard that too.
Curry's?
Curry's. Khourys. Curry's. Yeah, good luck, Richard. I'm talking to Kartik currently. Tell Kartik hi from Conrad Whiskey Bonded. That is our toasted barrel proof rye that we're working on right now. I haven't picked one yet. We're gonna do that soon. Tell Kartik I'll message him later.
He asked what was that Rye 3 pick.
Yeah, so these are actually the sample bottles for our pick that we're working on. They're cast strengths right around the 62 to 63 proof. They're a toasted barrel rye. So they're the toasted barrel cast strength rye. We're gonna pick a whiskey bonded single barrel pick, the first one ever by us, by me and the patrons. It'll be available primarily on the Patreon, but we're gonna have it available shipping nationally 47 states. So if you want to find out about that, go to the link in my bio, become a patron. You can do it for any level that you want. Obviously, the free one will get you access to see some stuff, but you got to pay to get to the really good stuff. But it's cheap. Well, I don't charge a lot for that crap. These are good. Sanballion Nanan. Best whiskey to buy to start out. Ugh. Okay, so, depending upon where you are at, I like to recommend Redwood Empire stuff, but I know it's not everywhere. Buffalo Trace regular offering is a good one. Not everywhere it's cheap. You can get Elijah Craig small batch just about everywhere. And that's a good American, it's a bourbon, but American whiskey to start out on. I think. Because it's not super offensive. It's got a nice sweet flavor to it. I think it's good. Good, personally. Faye. I appreciate Faye asking a lot of questions. Been looking for that Smoke Eye barrel proof since you posted a video about it online. You find it in a store or was it just sent to you to review? So no, they did not send. There's a small distillery, so they did not send that to me for free. I gotta get better about disclosing those, but I think I'm usually pretty good about it. But they did not send that to me. I bought it because Fred Minnick and the Ask Out Awards gushed about it, and I knew everybody would be asking about it. So like that's one of those bottles that I have to backburn or something because I gotta get that in to let everybody know what it's like. No, it's about an $80 or $85 bottle. I just bought it online. You can buy it online. If you get online and search, it's out there. Don't pay more than about $80 to $90 for it. That's what it's supposed to be. Just wait. Keep your eyeballs out. They're going to keep making it. They're very ambitious. I think you're going to see a lot more from them, I think.
Did you already answer that?
Yes, I did. I'll make sure. For the people that are on YouTube, if you guys actually do a little thank you, a little monetary thank you, I'll absolutely make sure that I answer your question. I'm sorry I can't get to everybody's, but if you're going to take the time to give us a couple dollars, I'm absolutely going to make sure I answer that question.
What is that rye minty?
Is this what rye? Oh, no. The rye 3 mint rye is not minty. Especially, so we decided we were looking at a rum finish and a toasted barrel. We could have done a Madeira, but I didn't want to do a wine finish. I like the rum finish, but the toasted barrel gives you marshmallow, chocolate, and vanilla, and I'm really hoping to come up with something that's got those notes balanced really well with those rye spices, but I don't personally find rye 3s to be minty. They might have a minty note in there, and these are single barrels, so there might be some in there. We haven't got to them yet. So we will see. I'm excited for it. Yeah, I see Major Zero said OGE 114 is a great starting point, or Evan Williams Bottle and Bond. Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, yes. OGD 114 if you can find it, but Old Granddad Bonded isn't one you should be able to find.
Stephen asked, have you had Elijah Craig toasted barrel?
Mm-hmm. Yes. I like toasted barrels in general. Because you can get, depending on how they're toasted, you can get those great vanilla chocolate marshmallow notes like they come out of the wood sugars and stuff. But it depends on how they toast it and what they're putting in there. You gotta have something to balance that out. Otherwise, it's just. I have had toasted that are either over too oaky. What was the toasted we had? Ooh, I do have the Lucky 7 Holiday Toast. I'm looking forward to trying that one. That's a bottle we just got from Lucky 7. I haven't had a chance to get into yet, but I'm going to do that. We also have another toasted. I have a Blue Note toasted over there too. It's all about toasted right now. Oh, that's interesting. Candyman said OGD 114 is easier to find than bottled or bonded here in Southwest Louisiana. Huh? Who knew? An interesting factoid.
114's better.
114 is better for sure. I haven't been recommending Old Granddad 114 recently because I know it's getting harder to find, and there are some rumors that it might be discontinued. I don't think that they're true. Personally, I don't think they're true. I don't.
We're
They've been making.
Talk to Donna and get a case.
That's right. I like the Old Granddad. I've heard though that the Old Granddad 114 doesn't store well really long term because of the large corks. Somebody who was a Dusty had one of those. Is there somebody else asking about the Latch Creek Toasted Bros? Is that the same question? Yes. Good. Latch Creek stuff's almost always good. Except every once in a while I get a barrel proof that's like a little much. Just ordered some Redwood Empire. You won't be disappointed.
The Masked Bourbon guy says, found and picked up 2 13th Colony cast strength for $95 each in Texas.
Yeah, those are impossible to find here. I do have a 13th Colony double oaked. Liked it a lot. I'm sure the cast strength is fantastic. I know that the Bourbon Junkies said it was one of the best of the year, like last year, the year before. If I had an opportunity to buy one for that price, I absolutely would. We just do not see them here.
Oh, and Sam Beline Allen just ordered some Redwood Empire.
Yeah, Redwood Empire. You're welcome.
Tell us what you think.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, please. I do love to hear if I recommend something how you liked it. That's always good to hear. What's your opinion on Penelope Toasted Honey Barrel? Uh-oh, TikTok's acting up. I gotta make sure they know I'm a real person. But they're not blocking us. That's good, I guess. I have not had the Toasted Honey Barrel. I'm a little skeptical about that one. And quite honestly, I've gotten away from Penelope a little bit. After the Rio, made me go... The newest Rio is better, though. A lot better. Oh, Devin's asking, are you going to get the OGD 16 when it comes out? Well, Devin, that depends. What's the price point on that bad boy? I have a feeling that one's going to be expensive. I mean, old granddad. Let me think. What's the equivalent of that? It's a Beam product. Knob Creek 15 is not stupid crazy. Maybe. What's your opinion on Stapleton by Buffalo Trace? Traveler. By Chris Stapleton and Buffalo Trace. Dave, good question. I actually think Traveler's fine. For $30, it's worth buying. I don't know why I get so much hate. But my wife hates it. I don't know why.
No.
I don't know. I think it's fine.
If it was $20, maybe.
What was I saying that was better than Buffalo Trace or better than Traveler? Oh, it was a Blue Note.
Yeah.
The Blue Note. The Blue Note's bourbon better than Traveler's. Similar price. Oh, everybody likes my Redwood tubes. There you go. Never seen those Redwood Empire tubes. Pretty cool and great juice. Yeah, those were a present from Redwood Empire. They're empty, but they were an old promotional thing they did. Master Bourbon Guy, is Frank August any good? It is, and the bottles are dope.
Oh, those are the pretty, right?
Yeah.
Decanter style.
Yeah,
bottles,
really cool. Kind of heavy copper topper that just adds some real value to it. BSK, Evan Williams is way better than Traveler. Evan Williams Bottle and Bond is way better than Traveler and cheaper. Same for VA for $114. It's absolutely everywhere here for like $29. Listen, we could move to Virginia. They said they got Old Granddad 114 for $29. If we're going to move out of California, I want to move to a state that's got good whiskey availability. I don't want to move to a control state. I'd hate life. Oh, Frank August Barrel Proof is awesome. I've not had that one yet. I want to. How's the fine cut? What? Oh, you're talking about the Macallan. You're talking about Macallan, your user 058313? Classic cut. It's fantastic. I love the Macallan Classic cut. This is 23, but you can't go wrong with these. Hey, Jenny. Gem of Kentucky 2XO. Picked one up today. You're going to love it. How much did you pay for it? They're about $200 usually. The only place I know locally that has them on the shelf has had that same 3 bottles for about 6 months, which is kind of a travesty, but I think it's just a reflection of the price point. $189. Good price. Good price, Jenny. Good price.
Jefferson store picks any good?
I've not had a lot of Jefferson store picks. I'm not going to be much help on that one. I know that the Jefferson stuff is pretty good in general, but I've not had the store picks. And store picks, here's a problem with store picks. You better know your picker or be able to sample it, because store picks can be no bueno. You don't know who you're picking, who's doing the picking, and a lot of times, I found this out fairly recently, sometimes those picks are not picked by the store owners. The distillery just sends them a single barrel, and that's their pick. Well, do you think they're sending them their really good stuff? No. Because if you don't have the wherewithal to pick your barrel, they're going to guess that you don't have that great a palate, and they're just going to send it to you. Yeah, Whiskey Chef, I know this. We have patrons in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is bad for bourbon selection. Prices are good when something good is available. Yeah, it's always a trade-off of availability and price. Jorgen, I need to get my hand in another Ego Rare. Come to realize I think it's my fave. I do love the Ego Rare. Jorgen, I forgot where you're at, brother. Where you're located at. Ooh. Major Zero said 1783 is even better than all of them. 1783, I've only 1783 actually is a good bottle. Oh, are you going to get the Shanks or Bomburgers this year? Steven Richard over on YouTube asked if I was going to get the Shanks or Bomburgers this year. I'll tell you something. Here comes one of my predictions, one of my crazy predictions that I've been pretty good about lately. Shanks and Bomburgers are going to be easier to get, and you should be able to get them at MSRP. Those are one of the ones that they produced in high enough numbers that they should not have gone into the secondary the way that they did. I've seen them on shelves quite a bit, and I have seen some liquor stores starting to do deals where if you buy another bottle, you can get them at MSRP. I think those are going to be available more at MSRP. You may have to buy package deals or know your liquor store owner, but I think those are going to be easier to get. If I get my hands on one or both at MSRP, maybe. Because they're still not a cheap bottle. A little over $100, I think, MSRP.
Jorgen's in Wisconsin.
Oh, Wisconsin. Man, I don't know what Eagle Rare distribution is like in Wisconsin. I guess it's not good. You can buy Eagle Rare online if you want to pay a little over for it. Steven Lundgren, where's the Pappy Van Winkle, dog? I do not own any Pappy Van Winkle. I've had a lot of it all the way up to the 23, right?
Not worth the price.
Not worth the price. Mrs. Whiskey Bond at the Peanut Gallery. She tried it. Didn't love it.
Didn't love it.
Well, we also had a Michter's 20 next to it, and it crushed it.
That was amazing.
Yeah. The Van Winkles, the 10, 12, 15 range, those are the ones that are good, I think. And at MSRP, buy them. But the markup is crazy.
What's the MSRP on Pappy 23?
The 23, like $500.
That's regular price.
Yeah, I think so.
Never
Unless somebody can correct me, when I got offered the Pappy 23 from Total Wine, it was $500.
Yeah. No,
But see, the lower Pappies are like 100, 129, 139, 49, something like that. In that price range, they're worth buying.
Yes, but even that, the 23, even if I could get it for...
Yeah.
No.
I didn't even opt to go into the lottery for that because I don't want to win one. Mm-hmm. I mean, the only reason you buy a Pappy 23 is as for a trophy model you sit on your shelf.
Yeah.
Corey, birthday is coming up Monday. Nice. Happy birthday, Corey. What's a good recommendation in good sipping tequila for under $150? Ooh, so I'll give you ones that listen, obviously you can say Fortaleza Añejo. That's more available now. I've seen that in the grocery store recently. The hype has died down on that a little bit. I actually like Don Pilar. There's one called Don Pilar Extra Añejo Tequila. It comes in a box in like a beautiful whiskey bottle, like looking whiskey bottle. I love that one. It's fantastic, great for bourbon drinkers.
You can go with the standard 1924 for $139 at Costco.
Oh, the Don Julio. Yeah. If you're a big tequila drinker, you're probably not gonna love the Don Julio 1492 or 1942. But if you're not a big tequila drinker, you'll love 1942. I like 1942, and I am a tequila drinker. Tears of La Llorona. That's an amazing tequila. I don't know if you can get that for $150 or not, though.
I don't know what that one goes for.
Oh, Stephen Richards said, excited for the 2XO Sneakerhead blend release. I'm actually more excited for the French Oak, the new $50 offering from Dixon. But I gotta reach out to him. I don't know when those are available. I know the Sneakerhead's coming. So is the French Oak, but I don't know the time frames. Keep an eye out. They'll come out. Hopefully Dixon will let us know earlier, but we'll see. We'll see. The Sneakerhead blend. I really thought that was a joke when he named it that. I thought he was joking. It's real. It's real. I reached out to him as soon as I saw him. I'm like, dude, is this real?
Is there going to be a sneaker on the bottle?
Yeah, it's got a sneaker on the bottle. Yeah. He's a big sneakerhead. I mean, it makes sense, I guess. Cool guy. Got that 2XO. Oh, you did, bro. I have not seen it yet. How is it? Owen's getting the purple top chug. Here we go. Here's it starts. I'm going to post that video you making a cocktail of that purple top. I have it on video. It's kind of grainy, but it's good enough to post. Bet I won't. Yeah, Michael S. Whiskey Durg. I picked up the Don Pilar in Costco. Oh, nice. That's nice. I saw it at Bevmo. We saw it at Bevmo yesterday. I like the Don Pilar, the Extra Añejo. It's beautiful. And especially if you're a bourbon drinker, it's good. Yeah, that was gangster. Owen is freaking... Look tall. I need to post all that stuff. Uh-oh. Don't set Kevin C off with the freaking purple top chugging. It'll hurt his feelings. Devin asks a minute ago over on YouTube, what are your favorite 3 bottled and bond bourbons? Grizzly Beast. I actually like Heaven Hill's 7-year bottled and bond. And there's a whole bunch of Still Austins. How are you going to make me narrow that down? I got 4 of those.
Didn't you also like the Holiday, or what's it called? Shit.
Oh, the from Ben Holiday. The Ben Holiday was good. Ben Holiday is very Eagle Rare reminiscent to me. Actually had a lot of similarity to my palate. I've had a couple other people say the same thing, but I think I might have just been drinking too much. I don't know.
That happens.
I actually thought the Ben Holiday Bottled and Bond was pretty Eagle Rare adjacent as much as anything has been. There's nothing like Eagle Rare. Isn't there a Pipe Dream BIB coming out? There is a Pipe Dream 101 coming out. Yes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Oh, Siete Linguists. Yeah, the user sometime talking about tequila. That's a good one. I forgot about that. When we asked a Mexican bartender in Mexico what the best tequila was, he said Siete Leguas. My Spanish is terrible, so I'm sorry about that. Bardstown Bottle and Bond. Steven, I was forgetting about that one. The Bardstown Bottle and Bond Weeder, the black label, I love it. I drank the crap out of that. And the white label is a better alternative to Blanton's or any of that lineup IMO. How's that? Yeah, the Pipe Dream 101 is the one I'm excited for. They're going to try and do I was talking to the VP of sales a couple days ago about that, and what they're thinking about doing is just trying to get better exposure. So like, he sent me a picture of the Penelope lineup. So you got all these Penelope bourbons. So when you go to Total Wine, there are like 4 of them all lined up with the Penelope labels. It's beautiful, right? Mm-hmm. And then right next to it is a pipe dream. Nothing else. Because the Emerald Giant is over in Rise. Lost Monarch is in Burrise, like American whiskeys, right? So they're all separated out. So you have no vertical. So by doing Pipe Dream 101, that means they're probably going to do a third of some kind. You can start to get a vertical with the cast strength and all those other things too, to bring out a little more attention. And he's 100% right, because when we go into Rayleigh's and you have the 3 white labels all sit by side, they stand out. Mm-hmm. Especially when they got a little $29.99 sale tag under them. Mm-hmm. You know
$24.99.
You know that's right. Oof, that's a steal. Ben Holiday's soft red wheat bottle and bond. Yes, the Rickhouse proof is crusher. But you have me at cast strength wheated, 100%. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Because this is an experimental night, and we gotta go over and talk to the boys on the Patreon, on the Discord call. If you're not a patron, then you don't know about the Discord. If you don't know about the Discord,
we got a new member.
You know about the after party. Michael, welcome to the Patreon. You just pulled back the curtain, man. You get to meet the wizard. Nice to meet you. If you don't know about the Patreon, you know about the Discord. If you don't know about the Discord, you don't know about after parties. But you can find out. There's a link in my bio. That's where you find everything is at whiskeybonnet.com. I missed when you're going to Texas again, still Austin. So we're going to go to Texas really quickly for Garrison Brother in August. We'll be back in Texas to go to Still Austin in October. Yeah, so we will probably try to coordinate a meetup time with anybody that's going to be in the area to meet us, either at Still Austin or somewhere in the area or something. We're going to figure that out, but it is in October, the second week of October.
Not second week of October, like late October.
Third week of October. Anyway, October. We'll get the information out there, especially if you're a patron, but we'll probably put some information on Instagram too. We're going to be down there helping the Kitsap Whiskey Society pick a barrel, hopefully with Nancy Fraley, and spend a little time in Austin. We're going to spend a little time, me and the Mrs. Whiskey Bonnet. But we will put out a little bit of time to try and meet with some patrons and some followers.
Gonna look for a new residence down there.
What?
We're moving. Haven't you heard?
Yes, I might be moving. I don't know. Look, happy wife, happy life. Okay, so we're going to wrap it early.
IROX says party at Rick's.
You know that's right. Rick's House of Bourbon will be the official supplier of all whiskey during the visit to Texas. Mm-hmm. At all times.
And free rides on the boat.
Boat rides, yes. Yeah, Texas in summer. Yeah, I know. Well, it's been 110, 112 degrees here, so I won't even notice. Okay, so I'll tell you guys one last little story that has nothing to do with whiskey, and then we're out of here. Because I got to get over to the Discord after party. It's been like really hot around here. 110, 112, right? It was like 113 degrees the other day, and I wanted to leave work to go sit down someplace and have a sandwich or something. Just get away from work. I'm like, I got to get out of here for a minute. So go down the street to this little spot. I'm not going to name it. It's called Milo's. I literally walked in there, and I'm like, it's hotter than shit out here. And I open the door, I walk inside, and literally it's the same temperature inside as it is outside. So it's like 112 degrees inside and outside. And the guy stands up from behind the counter. He stands up out of his chair. He stands up at the counter to get the cash register to like take my order. I've been there a bunch of times. And I'm standing in the doorway probably 20 feet away from him. And I look at him. And I'm like, really? And he looks at me like he's confused. I'm like, really? And then we just walked out. There's nobody in the place. It was literally 112 or 115 degrees in there. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know. Listen, if you have a business, turn on your freaking air conditioning, please. Sorry.
Yeah. And it wasn't broken.
Yeah.
He was just choosing not to.
Yeah, it wasn't broken. He's just being cheap. Which didn't pay off very well. Oh, Canada. Someone's in Canada. It's just nice and cool up in Canada. What's up, Oral Man? Okay, so you guys listen. We're out. We're calling it. It's only been about an hour and 15, but we're trying the YouTube thing, and we're going to go over to the Discord. So if you're not a patron, check out the link in my bio to check out the Patreon. We have every level that there is, including free 99. Then you can get into the Discord. And in the Discord is a whiskey channel, the whiskey community all week long. We talk about whiskey all week long. But we do after parties.
Tom, please join us.
What do you say?
Tom says, telling Mrs. Jeepin we're going to Austin for our anniversary.
Come down. Listen, the patrons are all going to be invited. I'm going to put the information out. You guys know that. Corey, thanks for coming by. Sorry we're going to call this a little bit quick, you guys, but yeah, my throat's a little raspy today. I'm a little raw from talking all day long, and I just want to call it early. And then it's my channel. Ding, ding. All right, you guys.
After party time.
Yeah, going over to the after party. I'll see you guys over at the after party. So patrons, I'll see you guys over at the after party a little bit. You know we got to walk the dog. That's what we do afterwards. And then we'll check back in. So you guys, thanks for coming by. Thank you, YouTubers, for coming by. We're going to get the YouTube thing rolling a little bit better. I appreciate you guys all participating in it, and we are going to be back to the YouTube lives. So we'll try and advertise them. I know YouTube, I can do that. I can let you guys know in advance with the YouTube thing. But we're trying to feel it out a little bit still. So we didn't get blasted on TikTok today, but we also didn't get that many people watching either. So, yeah, Mr. Mom, thanks for coming by. Everybody on YouTube, thanks for coming by. TikTokers, as always, appreciate you guys. You guys, please like us and follow us and subscribe and watch a video and check out my TikTok and Patreon and the t-shirt stuff and whiskeybottishop.com and do all that stuff, would you please? Thank you guys for coming. See you next week. Same time, 6:30. Bye. Okay. Glad all those TikTok people are gone. YouTube is what it's really all about, right? I mean, this is really where we want to be as YouTube, right? For the 14 people watching YouTube. I don't know how that works, but...
Well, if you're more consistent with it, maybe it'll grow.
Oh, Michael, good night. I'm headed over to Women of Whiskeys for her weekly live stream. Is that one of those paid access thing, or can anybody watch it? Sounds intriguing. Anyway, you guys, thanks for coming by, the YouTubers. I appreciate you guys. We're going to be doing more YouTube live stuff. We'll figure out scheduling and all that stuff. But thanks for coming by for this little experimental YouTube live simulcast with the TikTok for whiskey business on Wednesday nights. So we may be back here next Wednesday. This may be